Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the blood supply of the head of the femur and fracture of the neck of the femur. First of all, we will discuss the blood supply of the head of the femur. In the young, the epiphysis of the head is supplied by a small branch of the obturator artery, which passes to the head along the ligament of the head of the femur. See here, this is the ligament of the head of the femur, or the ligamentum teres, which is present at the fovea capitis, and there is a small artery which is the branch of the obturator artery, which is called as acetabular artery or the foveolar artery, or the artery of the ligamentum teres, which will pass through this ligamentum teres, or which will pass along the ligamentum of the head of the femur. Okay, this is one artery. Now another artery, which is the medial circumflex femoral artery. See here, this is the deep femoral artery, which is also called as the profunda femoris artery, and this is one branch which is the medial circumflex femoral artery. This medial circumflex femoral artery will give many retinacular arteries. See here, these are the retinacular arteries which are supplying the upper part of the neck of the femur. So this is supplying the upper part of the neck of the femur. These branches pierce the joint capsule and they ascend the neck deep to the synovial membrane. As long as the epiphyseal cartilage remains, there is no communication between the artery of the ligamentum teres and the branches of the medial circumflex femoral artery. See in this diagram, this is head of femur, this is fovea capitis, and here there is the ligament of the head of the femur, okay, and the arterial supply from the obturator artery, which is the foveolar artery or the acetabular artery, is crossing along the ligament of the head of the femur, and it is supplying the epiphysis of the head of the femur. Okay, see here, this one. This is the artery or the branch from the obturator artery. In the adult, after the epiphyseal cartilage disappears, okay, when the epiphyseal cartilage disappears, there is an anastomosis between the two sources of the blood supply is established, which is the anastomosis between the branch of the obturator artery and the retinacular and branches of the medial circumflex femoral artery. If there is fracture of the femoral neck or the neck of the femur, then there will be interference, or there is complete interruption of the blood supply from the root of the femoral neck to the femoral head. So what will happen if there is neck fracture of the femur? Then this medial circumflex femoral artery will not supply the femoral head, and the scant blood flow along this small artery, which is the artery of the obturator artery. This artery accompanies the round ligament. It will be insufficient to sustain the viability of the femoral head, and there will be avascular necrosis or ischemic necrosis which gradually takes place. Again, I will explain. There are two branches which are supplying the head and the neck of the femur. Number one is the branch of the obturator artery, which is passing along the ligament of the head of the femur. This is a small artery which is sometimes called as foveolar artery, and in some books it is written as acetabular branch of the obturator artery. Okay, it is a small branch which is supplying the head of the femur. And there is a big artery which is a branch of the profunda femoris artery, which is called as medial circumflex femoral artery, which is giving retinacular branches, okay, which is supplying the neck of the femur. And after the epiphyseal cartilage ossifies, these two branches anastomose. But sometimes what happens, there is the fracture of the neck of the femur. Then what will happen? The blood supply from the medial circumflex femoral, it will cut down and it will not supply the neck of the femur, and only the branch from the obturator artery is there, which is supplying the head of the femur, which is insufficient, and there will be avascular necrosis which gradually takes place. Now we will discuss the neck of the femur and the coxa valga and coxa vera. The neck of the femur, see here, this is a diagram which is the normal neck and the shaft of the femur. This is head of femur, this is neck of femur, and this is the shaft of the femur. Normally the neck of the femur is inclined at an angle with the shaft. This angle is about, normally it is about 130 degrees in adults and 160 degrees in young children. children. And increase, sometimes what happen, increase in the angle, increase in the neck shaft angle is called as coxa valga, and this occur in the congenital dislocation of hip joint, and this angle can comes up till 160 degrees. This is coxa valga. This occurs in the congenital dislocation of hip joint. In this condition, adduction of the hip joint is limited because this angle is increased. It is not 125 to 130 degrees, which is normal. Now it is about 160 degrees. This condition is called as coxa valga. Sometimes what happens, this angle decreases from 125 to 130, which is normal, and it decreases to 105 degrees. This condition is called as coxa vara. This condition is present if there is fracture of the neck of the femur or there is slipping of the femoral epiphysis. In this condition, abduction of hip joint is limited. There will be no abduction of the hip joint. Okay, there is one line which is called as Shenton's line. Can you see this radiograph of the hip joint, and can you see this line where I am passing my cursor? This is obturator foramen and this is the upper margin of the obturator foramen. Okay, this upper margin of the obturator foramen is normally in line with the lower margin of the neck of the femur. Remember again, this line is called as Shenton's line. What is this line? The upper margin of the obturator foramen is in line with the inferior margin of the neck of the femur. This is called as Shenton's line, and this line is very important to see that either the neck shaft angle is normal or not. Okay, because normally it is about 125 to 130 degrees, and sometimes it is increased or sometimes it is decreased. If it is increased, it is more than 135, it can be 140, 150, 160 degrees. It is called as coxa valga, and sometimes it is decreased, then 120 degrees, it may be 110, 115, it is called as coxa vara. So this Shenton's line is very, very important. You should know where is Shenton line. Shenton line is a single line which is from the inferior upper margin of the obturator foramen to the inferior margin of the neck of the femur. This is Shenton's line. This Shenton line will tell you that whether this neck shaft angle is normal or not. I hope you understand.